Assalamualaikum and welcome to our sewing suit reviews. Now today I'm going to share with you some of the other colors in the beautiful pearl rose design. I'm going to give you some suggestions on how to go about sewing these suits, and also these suits are just so pretty, especially for my dear mums and aunties. I think I would love to sew this one for my mom if she's going to a wedding, which hopefully she may be in a couple of weeks. I travel to Pakistan and I would sew this beautifully for her, and I would love her to wear this. I like to spoil my mum, and I think everybody should be spoiling their mums, because mums are a gift, alhamdulillah, who are not going to be with us for long, and we should make the most of it and make them feel special, just as they made us feel special when we were young. So the way I would sew this is this beautiful pearl lace. I would combine this and edge the dupatta in the pearl lace like this, and I would also use something like this perhaps to trim the edges. Now these kameez do come out slightly short, so I would actually go around and add a little bit of my own details on these, because sometimes the mums and the aunties do complain. But bear in mind, as you get older, you do tend to shrink in size. So like my mum's dress used to be quite long, and now it's not as long. So the length on these is actually 44 inches, which is not adequate for majority of the mums. So what I would do with this is I would actually lengthen this, and I would add a little bit of perhaps a detailed lace, or even some silk or Banarsi trim, even a trim like this. If I was sewing this particular suit for maybe a younger person, maybe like myself or someone, I would trim it off in this silk, or I would trim it off in jamawar. Nice thick border of jamawar, and it would finish the suit off beautifully. So I'm going to go around and show you the rest of the colors in this. All the colors are mums and aunties colors. There are a few, it's actually, they've had a bit of a swap around. The colors which we had darker in the last series, we've now got lighter versions, and the ones that came in the lighter versions have now become darker versions. So this is the beautiful rich ivory color. Okay, and we're gonna go through all the colors, and then hopefully maybe different suggestions for different ones. I would use the pearl lace with all of them. So what you have is you've got lining and salwar material in all the colors. This one is like caramelized type of a color, caramelized toffee. Caramelized toffee. Now these suits haven't got necklines, they have just got the work on the daman, and then they've got the embroidery and the pearls all over. The salwar is not on pure in these ones. The price is less than the other suits that I've shown. So again, that's the second of the colors. Again, if you look, I mean, jamawar trim on this, and then perhaps this edging, or maybe in the slightly whiter version of this lace. Again, you can trim this in the maroon, depending on, because there's maroon floral in this, or you can do it depending on who's wearing it. I know these suits are like more of wedding attire, so if you were making it for a wedding, then I would go for one of the darker colors like the maroon that I've just shown. Grey, again, grey and maroon also go very nicely. So actually maroon is a color that would go with all of them. Again, you've got fabric for lining and salwar. There's plenty of fabric there. Very pretty color this is like a silver grey. That's the dupatta. And then I mean, I just love this. For mums and aunties always complain that there's never something adequate for them, and just look at the beauty of this, and I think this is like a adequate for any mom or any auntie. Just look at the combination with that if you were to pair it off with the maroon. Silver grey, then we've got buttercream. The first one was ivory, this one's buttercream. This is again one of my favorite colors, the cream, the wonderful cream. I just can't get enough of cream. Okay, you've got your lining and your salwar. And just look at the richness of this color. It just is, you know, it just stands out at you and shouts to you, make me make me and wear me. Anyway, that's the dupatta, again trimmed off with the maroon or whichever of your favorite colors. We can go with you know, even if you went with, I'll give you an idea, and then all I can do is give suggestions, and then you can actually, I mean, like if you were going with the jamawar in the maroon, that's also a very pretty combination. And then we've got the pink, if you wanted to go with the pink, and there's always loads of other colors too. So that's just a couple of suggestions. I mean, look how nice it look with this maroon jamawar. You know, that would really make the suit, you know. But even the plain silk, it would actually make a beautiful suit. Anyone interested in the jamawar trims, then you would have to sort of like let me know, and I can parcel those off to you when I make the purchases for the rest of the things. But be very clear on the amounts and the quantities you want. It's generally about £8 a meter, so please be aware of the price. These do not come included with the suits. I tend to do a lot of hunting and a lot of investigating and you know, stockpiling these, and I tell you, when I buy these things, my bill generally runs into quite a hefty amount, because all these small add-ons do add up. But really it is the making of the garment. You know, garments are often made with these little details, otherwise you've just got the run-of-the-mill thing. But if you want to add individuality, then I think that's where, you know, that's where the personal touch comes in, and I like to add my personal touch to all my garments, as you generally see and notice. Anyway, this is what color is this? It's there's a name for this color and I can't remember what color it is. Anyway, it's like a very dull version of a lilac-y color. No, it's not lilac. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to do a degree in the color schemes, because often I get confused with, I'm gonna have to name all these colors so that we know exactly what each color is. I'll go through the list and I'll actually upload the list colors so that you're all aware of exactly the color I'm talking about. All these colors are the real mums and aunties colors, and I'm going to show you a couple of the earlier versions of these suits, which were slightly darker shades to these. Okay, so this was the pearl version that we had previously, and the colors have slightly changed. Now this one is a gold, again one of my favorite colors, but perhaps I am going to sway away from these colors now, and I'm going to be doing something different rather than the run of the mill that I always go for. So inshallah I'm going to show you. But for any mums who want, you know, like for a family wedding, this is something that I would highly recommend. And then with this I would go for this gold color jamawar. You understand? Just, you know, the trim with this. I know aunties tend to complain that, you know, the fabric's not enough, but there's ample fabric in this to make quite a large size kameez. I would go for something like this. a jamawar trim, and then I would go for my pearl lace to actually trim the whole of the dupatta, sides of the dupatta and this off, and I would use the same jamawar trim to edge the dupatta and then use this in front of it. And oh my god, what kind of a beautiful outfit that would make. It would be stunning. And you know what, these suits are not to be missed, I tell you. You know what, but you're going to be seeing lots of designer replicas, but why replicate? Go for the original, especially when there's a wedding or something, and go for the unique. I'm so excited about these suits because they are, I was saying to my daughter, I was having one of those fed up days a few days ago, and I was saying to Halima that, do you know what, I've gone off sewing. I can't, I don't know, it was one of those frustrating days that day, and I was in a bad mood, and I said, you know what, I can't be bothered sewing anymore. I just want to give it up. And she said, Mom, what are you saying? Please don't say that. How can you give it up? That's your passion. And then, you know what, I look at stuff like this and I think, no, I can never give it up. This is my passion. I look at stuff and I just go wild, and I think, oh my god, I can make something so beautiful out of this, and then the passion comes back. And I'm sure you all share my excitement, especially all those that are creative and love the designing and the sewing. Anyway, I'm going to be taking snapshots of all these. I'm going to be uploading them to my Facebook page, so do join me there. If you want an in-depth color description. If you want to WhatsApp me, by all means, send me an email and I will forward you my WhatsApp number. But please bear in mind, if you do call on WhatsApp, I do have a very, very busy schedule and often I can't return all your calls. I tend to keep my phone on silent because my phone rings 24/7, and sometimes I'm asleep and people across the world have different times and they're ringing me at all times. So be conscious of the time and so on. We are on different time zones. If you're in Australia or if you're in India, then our times will vary, sometimes 4 hours and sometimes 6 hours difference. So bear that in mind when you call. Do always message me first because I can't always attend all the calls. I do often get bombarded. So having a very busy life, sometimes I'm recording and you would hear the phone ringing, and I keep the phone on quiet, on silent because of that reason. So lots of new stock that's arrived, lots of ideas, lots of fascinating designs, and I want you to be able to select and choose and have the fun time creating and making these beautiful dresses.